What's up, Star Wars fans? Today we're going to talk Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 6, and what an amazing series finale this was. And it all gets started with a big reveal that Reva is on Tatooine, and that she is looking for none other than Owen Lars, no doubt trying to hunt down Luke Skywalker. And despite the fact that I really enjoyed Reva's storyline in this episode, I was still a little upset that we didn't get some sort of explanation as to how she survived being stabbed with a lightsaber. That said, I certainly wasn't upset with the callback to A New Hope, seeing a Star Destroyer hunting down a much smaller ship. It was a fantastic moment and looked visually stunning, which unfortunately hasn't always been the case with this series. That said, Obi-Wan Kenobi decides to leave the transport in hopes of drawing Darth Vader away from Leia and these civilians that have been running the path. And very predictably, that's exactly what Darth Vader does, even going so far as to follow Kenobi down to a nearby planet without any support of his Inquisitors or Stormtroopers. He wants a rematch with his old master one-on-one, and that's exactly what he gets. And I love the fact, of course, that we get this lightsaber duel that we were promised, then also that interspersed between this lightsaber duel, that we get the fight between Reva versus Beru and Owen. And it's so funny that looking back on this episode, I knew that every one of these characters was going to survive, with the exception of that course being Reva. But you know what? I still found myself in a lot of suspense, just wondering how this was all going to play out. But not only was I surprised by the suspense I was in, but also just the overwhelming amount of emotion seeing Kenobi versus Vader, and seeing once again this struggle between these two former brothers. I absolutely loved when Obi-Wan Kenobi was buried amongst the rocks, and he was being completely overwhelmed by memories of his past with Anakin Skywalker, and while trapped there under those rocks, he's able to draw on a new strength and clear his mind thinking about Luke and Leia and how they are the future. Obi-Wan allows himself to let go of the past and live for the future in what is probably the first time in a long time for this character. And in letting go of that past, he's able to gain so much more strength, which is very apparent for the rest of the lightsaber battle. And this is just one of those moments that I live for in Star Wars. A great reminder for everyone watching that we need to let go of our past and not be haunted by those mistakes we've made, because if we do overcome those past mistakes and let them go, then we can become even stronger, just as Obi-Wan Kenobi does as he takes the fight to Darth Vader. And wow, does Obi-Wan ever take the fight to Darth Vader, soundly defeating him in their duel once again. But fortunate for us, it's not the duel that's the best part, but the dialogue that comes after. Obi-Wan apologizing to Anakin for everything that's happened, and Darth Vader throwing that back in his face, saying that I am not your failure, that Darth Vader was the one that killed Anakin Skywalker. Well, in my opinion, that was one of the best moments in Star Wars, period. And you know what else was a pretty good moment in this episode is that when Reva finally tracks down Luke Skywalker, she has clearly done so to take revenge on Darth Vader killing his son, but she can't make it happen because she starts having flashbacks to her childhood and how Anakin Skywalker during Order 66 at the Jedi Temple killed so many young, innocent lives, just like she's about to take Luke Skywalker's innocent life. And I gotta tell you, I really didn't think the redemption thing was going to work for Moses Ingram's character, Reva, but in the end, I thought it worked just fine. I mean, the link between her childhood at the Jedi Temple and the fact that she was repeating that history, well, to me, that made a lot of sense. But the great thing about this episode is after Luke is safe and Darth Vader is defeated, while the episode still has quite a bit of falling action that was absolutely fantastic. Seeing Kenobi arrive on Alderaan and tell Leia about her mother and father, that was incredibly emotional and is no doubt one of my favorite moments in this series. And then of course the big payoff where Obi-Wan Kenobi gets to meet Luke Skywalker for the first time, and of course we get to hear one of Obi-Wan's most famous lines, "Hello there." But that's not all. Certainly all of that would have been a great episode, but we get even more, and that is a little bit of Qui-Gon Jinn at the end of the episode, of course as a Force ghost, once again reminding the audience of the massive transformation that Kenobi has gone through in this series, as Qui-Gon simply states that before Kenobi wasn't able to see him, and now that he's gone through this transformation, letting go of his past with Anakin, he's a stronger version of himself that can see Qui-Gon clearly. But hey, Star Wars fans, that's all the time I got for my review today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, I'm Mike, thanks for watching, and remember, the Force will be with you always.